Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting the second and final part of the Innovation Radar Prize pitching finals. We have now 10 pitches ahead of us. The first two will be from the best early stage innovation category. Two finalists in that category have already pitched at the end of the previous session. Followed by those two, we will have the 4 pitches for, Miguel, I can't remember, is it best is it best tech for society, or is it, anyway, I can't remember the exact order, we'll sort that out, but best tech for society finals, you will hear the 4 of them, and and then it's industrial and enabling technology, the 4 finalists in that category, you will hear right here today. So, without further ado, let's now move to the next finalist in the Best Early Stage Innovation category. Could I invite to the stage Sigic or Sigic? How do I pronounce it? Please come up and tell us how to pronounce it. Here you are. Was it? Right on. Oh, how do you pronounce it?
We pronounce it Sigic.
Sigic. So the floor is for you, Sigic. You have your pointer there, your slides are ready up, and you have 3 minutes on the clock right here. Over to you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Radim Smar. I'm from Sigic, and our innovation is coming out of the Antarx European project, and it's called Intelligent Navigation System for Smart Cities. Our solution consists of navigation application for citizens running on many vehicles. They are communicating to the central routing engine, which is running on HPC, and the goal of which is to orchestrate potentially all cars in the city. This requires quite a processing power, for which we needed to employ supercomputing. Opposed to the current navigation systems, which always return the same route for all the cars going for the same A to B, our solution distributes these cars across multiple alternatives to make a distribution of the traffic with the objective to minimize the total driving time of all cars of the system. And we are achieving here reductions of 20% on the total driving time. Considering the fact that people in Europe value saving 1 hour of their travel time at €5, then for, say, 500,000 commuting vehicles, we can save 75,000 hours daily, which makes it worth of €400,000 daily. And I'm not even talking about reductions on the CO2 emissions. With using Antarx technologies, optimization technologies, we were able to cut the initial computation cost by 25%. That was positively affecting our business scheme, that we could have that solution at the cost of €10,000 a month for operating or for managing 50,000 users in a city. We have presented this solution to a couple of municipalities, including Vienna, and we got quite an interesting feedback there and gained quite a lot of attention. Lastly, I would say our solution seems interesting, has an interesting potential for autonomous car industry, which will exactly require some central control under some city umbrella policies. Finally, let me present our team working on this solution. So Sigic, which is SME company providing the special release of a navigation application together with the definition of the specification of the system. IT4 Innovation, which is the National Supercomputing Center of Czech Republic, providing their supercomputing platform along with the implementation of a routing algorithm. And we had 2 universities from Politecnico di Milano and U Porto, which were contributing with the supercomputing optimization techniques towards the cost efficiency of the solution. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Is this, yes, working microphone? Yes, great. Jury, over to you. Questions for Psychic.
What's your current traction? Because I think on the first slide you said over 200 million users.
What's our current
Traction, how many users do you have?
users? So, go close to the microphone. Yeah. So currently, Psychic is actually the second most downloadable navigation application in the world after Google. We have 200 million users across the world, but for cities, so what is important is that the solution should be working locally for cities. So we should be really talking figures concerning the specific city, right?
And those are, and with the cities that you have already, you're already collaborating.
So they are actually at the level of 1-2% of all commuters. And yeah, I don't know, for Vienna, probably it would be like 30,000 users or something.
So, and the business model, you're licensing this to the, how a license with for the city? How
yeah, the business model is that we would like to offer this solution to cities because it really brings them kind of quality of life for their citizens, right? As I was saying, that how much do you value for saving 1 hour of travel time? So this is really reflected in certain economics figures. And so as I said, there is this kind of potential limit, if all these theoretical things will work out, that we can really save 400,000 euros daily for a city. So we would expect the city can pay this solution, and the price would be, of course, much
lower than 400,000 euros
daily.
And what's the price range now?
So as I mentioned, that we are in a kind of negotiating phase with a couple of municipalities, so we're not really at the moment really talking exact pricing figures. But as I said, through these technologies of optimization of this computation, which is very, very important and critical in this solution, that we can have this calculation for 50,000 users at the price of 10,000 euros a monthly. That's the cost of the calculation. But of course, we would need to, we have extra services on top of that, so the price would be higher. But we're really talking about figures like maybe 300,000, 400,000 euros a year.
Just want to make sure that I understand what you do. So your app will make sure that each person, or as many people as possible, have different routes so that they don't all take the same route?
Exactly. But this works according to the estimation of the traffic flow. So if in the congestion, it's important to distribute those cars. Of course, if there is no congestion, then they can go the same route. So it depends on the current traffic conditions, which we are also calculating along this solution, which I was not mentioning. So it's not only about the routing, but it's also about traffic prediction, which is underlying this solution.
And where do you get the sources from the current traffic from? Is that from the other users, or do you have other sources as well?
Yeah, exactly. There are a couple of sources, and that's really a big topic of cities, of municipalities. How do they get data? And they want to have data to understand their traffic. And so Psychic is already collecting a lot of these information. It's called floating car data. So already all the users of Psychic navigation are actually providing this data. And so we can estimate traffic out of the running vehicles already now, before even deploying this solution. And once this solution is deployed, we actually assume that the user base would grow that much that we would have a kind of unprecedented quality and information about traffic.
My last question is, how is it different from Waze, which also takes traffic?
Waze, of course, I mean, there are current solutions are taking into account the traffic information, also Psychic, also Waze, but we only use it for navigating individual users. So we only kind of give optimal route for a specific user. We don't care about social aspect. Here, this solution is trying to optimize globally the whole transportation flow of all the cars. So it means you might not get seemingly the shortest route, but altogether you will all win, right? So current navigations are just running for the individual best. They don't consider kind of collaboration or community aspects. If you have your navigation running Waze or Sidekick, we'll show you the traffic and we'll show you how to get to the point the best way, but it's kind of taking advantage of the fact the others don't have that information.
But actually, for example, Google gives you the traffic information real time if you turn that on. So you have it. Like, how do you actually expect, or what's your plan? How do you want to make people use Sidekick? Because if they don't, then you don't have the data and you don't.
Yes.
You cannot really.
It's really one big topic, and which we are discussing with cities. So it's the city should have ambition to try to promote this application also, because it really brings the quality of life for citizens. So there can be certain incentives. So we are really talking about the incentives that if people are using this navigation system, then they can be in a certain way awarded. They can get discounts, etc. They will be contributing with the knowledge to the city. So the city might, cities are really talking about incentive schemes. And why is it so? Because cities would like to finally have the control on the routing system. So currently, cities are not very happy, or even countries like Austria are not very happy about navigation systems, because if there is a jam, for example, then our navigation companies, that we know that we will just bypass that jam, and if it's on a highway, truck drivers take the route to the villages, and then the people are complaining. So the cities and country like Austria, we're very much in discussion with them, would like to kind of have an influence on that routing engine, and that's something which we also can offer. So we can imply some local policies into the routing engine, such that, for example, it navigates the drivers through the roads city wants, like maybe avoiding certain streets, certain zones. So there is some kind of motivation for city to get that system working at their place.
Any more questions from the jury? No, just jury only. We can do questions later. Sorry, we do keep your question and talk outside with whoever you. We've got to keep this machine running. Jury, you're sorted. You got what you need. Excellent. I would like, thank you very much. A round of applause once again for Sidekick. Thank you. Thank you. And if I'd like to introduce Flavio from XLab in Slovenia, the floor is yours. Clickers here. You have a laser if you wish. Forward, back, and your clock will start ticking from this laptop there.
Over to you. Thank you very much. Hi. Okay, IoT technology. IoT technology is all around us nowadays, okay? We all know that. Now, imagine you are developing a solution to support healthy aging, right? So you're combining data from wearable devices, your smart home, smart city, social, healthcare services of your city. What are you doing? You are integrating systems that have not been designed to work together, never. So you have a headache, and we have the aspirin for that. Our innovation is basically like a universal IoT service bus. It is a business-to-business product that allows interoperability of different IoT platforms. Now, from this picture, it seems very, very easy, but believe me, it is not. With our approach, we assure security, privacy, scalability, quality assurance. We take care of the whole process of doing that. And this way, so if we take back this healthy aging application as an example, we shorten dramatically time to market of your application. Or even better, we maybe are making it doable, and you couldn't manage to do that in the past. So now we know it works because we applied this in healthy aging and in logistics. It works. We have done our numbers as well. We estimate the interoperability IoT market to be around 100 million euro, and being an early stage innovation, really we aim at 10% of that amount. Now, how we do that? We have a subscription model which is based on throughput and the number of connected devices, and we aim at reaching in the second year of our operations this 2020 around 170K. Then we break even in the third year, and we hope to reach 1 million euro in the fourth year of our operations. Now you're asking ourselves, can we do that? And we are confident that we can. We can. Why? Because we have a highly motivated team of scientists, business developers, and they are ready to bring this product, this innovation forward. Motivation, it's one, but we also do have the second ingredient for this. We have the experience to do that. We have done this in the past several times. So our mission statement for this product is to enable IoT for the data economy. And by doing that, we basically elevate your data to the next level. We make it available for artificial intelligence, analytics, any type of added value that you may think of. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabio. Jury, questions for Flavio from XLab in Slovenia.
Okay, so you can do it. So what is the business model?
So we aim to, our business, we are aiming at business to business. We do not aim at end customers. Take an example of healthy aging, okay? So we are first at taking healthy aging and logistics because we already have some contacts there, but this applies to any area where there is a large amount, where there is a lot of IoT data that has to be integrated, okay? So we do business to business, and to our customers, we offer this platform where all devices, all IoT platforms that they operate now can be connected. So take an example. So how is this done nowadays? You are operating several IoT platforms, and you have two ways of interconnecting them. You can make an ad hoc solution where you connect everything to everything, and you understand that this is exponential. You get a new IoT platform that you have to connect, and it's a mess because you have to connect it with everything. This is not sustainable. It's not portable. It's a one-off, and then you have to redo it each time. You have a second way of doing it nowadays. So a solution provider comes to you. You are a city council running several different IoT platforms. For example, we got contacted from a region in Italy where for healthy aging, they have for people that are under their care, they have different smart home applications and monitoring medical devices, and each time they get a new vendor, it's a lot of time to integrate on all this and have a unified platform for analytics. So with our solution, we have proven that through the applications we have. 2 weeks. So you may have in your portfolio 1, 20, 50 IoT platforms. If a new guy comes in the town, 2 weeks and it's done. In 2 weeks, you can develop this plugin, this bridge that then immediately allows you to use all your applications that you already have.
How many clients or projects have you done so far?
So far we are at the end of the research project. It ends this year, basically. We have applied this in the frame of the project in one use case related to healthy aging, or to be more precise, to nutrition, where they made a clinical study of 100 patients, and we did technical work. I can't talk too much about the results of the clinical study, but with their connected several IoT platforms that have been used by those patients. So there we have a number of 100. And then this logistics use case, it's in the port of Valencia in Spain. That was technically, I must admit, much more demanding because in the port you have different operators. You have machines handling cargo, you have someone else operating the trucks, someone else operating the trains, the gates, the ships. They have emergency services. They have weather stations there.
Are you focusing on any industry in particular? Because you mentioned the clinical trials, which is.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Are you focusing on any specific industry, like the health industry for the clinical trials, where there is quite a lot of CRO data, and then the trials in the clinics and so forth?
The solution itself, it's very generic. Okay, it can be applied in any industry. We are now focusing on this healthy aging approach, on healthy aging and on logistics, simply because we already made the first contacts in those areas. But we are open to any solution, but you have to focus, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, but my question was more on the strategic side, because then the value proposition might be higher for the health industry, for instance, than for the logistic ones. That's why.
Any more questions to the jury, or do you have what you? No? Okay, excellent. A round of applause, please, for Flavio from XLab. And the presentation from XLab concludes the present pitches from the 4 finalists in the Best Early Stage Innovation category. Now we open up Tech for Society. The first of 4 finalists that are going to pitch right now in this category is Friedrich Schiller University Jena. Please, round of applause for him. There we go. You're welcome on stage, Anna. I'm going to set you up with your time over here on the 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Well, thank you very much. I'm here to represent the Large Athletic Windows Consortium. My name is Lothar, and we're a little bit on a different track. We are developing materials for enhancing the energy efficiency of buildings. And this addresses 2 major issues. First, buildings represent the single most important source of anthropogenic CO2, or 1/3 of the global energy use. And second, we spend more than 80% of our time indoors. And then naturally, we have a lot of expectations to the building. For example, we expect heating functionality. We also expect indoor cooling functionality. And sometimes we even expect the building envelope to contribute to energy harvesting. Now, what we did is we developed a technology which can do all 3 things in a single device. Our approach was, I think, quite simple, taking the basic idea of standing behind a waterfall where the flow of water is creating a zone or a space of individual climatic conditions. And now we take or adopt this idea and wrap literally the whole building into a liquid layer. Well, the way we do this involves such large area transparent glass panes, which we have been developing and producing. They contain microscopic channels, which are then used to circulate functional liquids. And then a number of such panes is assembled in double or triple glazing, so as to cover the full facade of a building. Our product is not only the glass pane, but it's what we call the primary cycle, which is the liquid envelope, the glass panes, and all the auxiliary components up to the interface with the customer's building management facilities. A key feature which makes us think that we will be ahead of penetrating the market rapidly is that our system is compatible with standard window manufacture technology. Well, why you should care? For reasons. First, the smart window market is a young but already significant market. We're confident to hold a share of 2% in 22 of this market with a very strong growth, actually the largest growth in the building materials sector. We have a significant potential to contribute to reducing CO2 emissions from buildings. There will be a superior comfort levels inside the building using these fluidic systems. And all this comes at a low cost energy CO2 payback time of just a few months. Thank you very much, and I will be happy to take questions or take you to some demo sites.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Interested. So now it's this one. Yeah, well, we can cool.
No. I want you to amplify. I want everybody to hear your answer. Try that.
The question is whether we can cool and heat. So, and we can actually in a single device by adapting it to weather conditions. So we can operate one pane. Imagine you have a double or triple glazing, and you can put these capillary panes. The secret is they have the same thickness as a regular glass pane, inside, outside, so you can collect outside heat. So.
And wouldn't it be much more inefficient in this window if you're doing the cooling or heating than if you're doing the heating through a traditional heating element? Would you not lose a lot of energy to the outside of the window?
There are several answers to your question. First is the efficiency is basically for heating comparable to underfloor heating systems. So you have the same function, only that it comes from the window. The insulation to the outside is provided by liquid itself. So the liquid, if it's kept at a constant temperature, will isolate the building. And in addition, you have a regular double or triple glazing. So the insulation figures will be enhanced. Compared to regular underfloor heating, you have a, so to say, closer heat source, which will enhance your personal well-being, so to say.
And for cooling?
For cooling, you use the same system. You just control the temperature of the liquid. So in summer,
terms of efficiency compared to an air conditioning unit?
So we did studies. It's comparable, but there's one very big difference. That is the temperature gradient. So we cool at a very low temperature gradient, such as maybe 21 degrees. And this means that you will not have any coldish wind making you get ill all the time. Like maybe not today in this building, but in summer in this building. Also, you will not get a chill from the air conditioning.
Okay.
And regarding transparency of the glass?
So first, I mean, this is just the glass. If it's filled with a liquid, and by adjusting the optical properties, refractive index of the liquid to those of the glass, it will be transparent. I didn't bring a photograph. Maybe this can give you some impression. You actually looking from the side, it's angle dependent. You will see the channels. Looking directly, you will not see them. We had an architects conference about acceptance of such systems, and there was no problem at the moment.
So you're ready for mass production now?
We have licensed the technology. We are a university. We have a licensing partner who is a window manufacturer. Mass production means first producing the glass, such as here. We have demonstrated so far 2,000 square meters per day. Then there are several processing steps. depends on what means mass production. In 2019, we intend at least 2,000 square meters of
So
functional units.
your licensing partner is going to produce these
Yes,
windows?
yes. They're just now, this year, setting up a production line and intend to start commercialization next year.
And it will be as easy to install in an old building in a renovation phase as well as to a new building when the architecture is actually designing such solutions. So is it like what is now the, is it as handy? Is it just like changing the window? I suppose I come from a country which is dominated by district heating.
Yep.
So Nordic countries are very much operating like that. So yes, sure, but I still don't, get it. How do you get this like a global solution?
Yeah. Well, in principle, first part of your question, yes, you can replace any window with this system. In practice, the building sector is not as fast as what you're used to, probably. So you need a lot of certification tests. So therefore, in the first 3 years, we will not sell to private homeowners or such. So the strategy involves B2B or selling to organizations. But later on, also residential homes. So the first customer, everyone, is non-residential buildings.
I'm just wondering about the duration. I mean, you can't replace the liquid for sure. So how long do you think this will be keep the efficiency, the cooling and the heating efficiency? Because you can't replace the liquid, I guess, inside.
I mean, we did LCA, extensive LCA auto testing on different sites across Europe. So far on about 300 square meters of units. Our results say that, well, you enhance efficiency, you have a very low payback time, you have CO2 reductions, everything depends on the size of the building. So our target number is a certain facade to floor area ratio, and different numbers depending on application, between 0.4 and 1 when the system becomes efficient. So the highest efficiency, obviously, you get in buildings with very large facades, and then depending on building orientation and so on, if this answers your question.
But like, how long do you think it would, how long would it be until you have to like replace the window or whatever? Because it becomes inefficient. It does become less efficient with time, or not? Because you have this liquid layer, and or is this just like permanently efficient?
No, once you install the system, it is just constant until it will break, of course. But for the building sector, we expect a lifetime of 20 years. So the system is designed to not break during 20 years, hopefully.
Okay, so this is like just like a regular window, I guess. And your financing requirements are for what purpose?
This is mostly for setting up automated production lines. And it's actually provided by the licensing partner at the moment. There's open end depending on how far it will be upscaled to beyond Europe. At the moment, we are focusing on Europe.
Are you allowed to take on other licensing partners, or do they have an exclusivity?
For Europe, what we are talking to other partners in other places, in outside Europe, in Asia, and in Near East. At the moment.
And how long is their exclusivity for Europe?
I think the European partner would be happy to welcome investors.
But they,
if that's answering
my question is anyone else allowed to produce your technology in Europe? Do they have an exclusivity that finishes at some point, or it's indefinite?
We would need a contract. So our partner is one of our consortium members, and of course we would need to set up contracts for this. In principle, it would be possible, but not right away. We hold several patents on the technology. This is the basis for the license.
But who owns the IP? It's your company or the consortium? Because there's quite a number of partners in the consortium.
We as a university hold half of the, a little bit more than half of IP, and one of the consortium partners holds another part of the IP in 3 patent families.
And this partner is the window producer, or?
Yes.
I mean, the question is on how scalable this is because of the fact that half of the IP is owned by a window producer who may or may not want to license this technology to someone else.
I mean, the window producer is not that big, so I cannot tell you their business numbers.
No, I don't mean that, but I'm just asking, the question is whether you can license this technology to other window producers, not just this one.
I think it will be possible in principle, yes.
Any more questions? Oh, is this working here now? No, I'll take that. You turn it off. I'll turn it back on. Hang on. Okay. Can you hear me? Yes? This working? Good. Next up, could we please have the next finalist in this, which is going to be green, or is it G or 3N? You're going to... Okay, I'll go for green, okay? Right, okay. Please, the floor is all yours. I'm going to pull up the clock here. You'll have 3 minutes. You will see a clock in this in a few seconds when I go and mess about with it. Green to go forward, red to go back, and a laser button if you need it.
Okay, I hope I can push the button.
I hope so too.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Maurizio Crippa. I'm CEO of GR3N, Green, whatever you want. I talk to you about polyester. First question, raise the hands who never use a backpack. Raise the hands who never use a t-shirt. Raise the hand who never went to buy a t-shirt to Zara or H&M. This is polyester, like this one. The same material. PET polyester is the same. How big is this problem? 80 million tons produced globally. But what it means? 10,000 Eiffel Tower. A huge problem. Ubiquitous and big. But for what we use this material? For simple reason. Food container, human containers. But the point is that after these bottles are collected, just a few fraction can be recycled with the current technology. Just these bottles can use the colorless to produce a nude bottle. The other ones are produced for clothes. And after that, gone. Downcycling. Material is lost. The functionality is gone. Is there a solution? Yes. Chemical recycling. Depolymerization. It means I disassemble the polymer and I collect the building blocks of the polymer. And doing this, I remove the colorants, which affect the recyclability of my clothes or my colored bottle. And then we create circularity of the plastics. How we do this? We do with the microwave technology that we have patented, and how we separate the building blocks through a chemical process that we have patented. How we do? In a consortium called Demeter that has the aim to, yes, develop the technology, but also to place the technology on the market, because it's a huge market. And then we have partners in the consortium, and we establish an industrial advisory board. They help us to place the technology on the market. You see all the big trends of our daily life. We started on 2012, and at the moment we raised 12 million euros through 2 European projects, Symbiotima and Demeter. And now we are looking for 1 million euros, between 0.5 and 1 million euros. By the spring, we close this family and friends round, and then later, in 2020, we will ask for 4 million euros for commercialization. Thank you for your attention. Hello.
bang on time. Did you hear that? It went ding, 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 and he stopped. Questions, jury for green.
You want a drink?
So your idea is to actually, you develop this technology, your idea is to actually implement this technology, so do the recycling or just to license the technology to
Yeah.
users?
First, in order to do this, we need the enabling technology available. Then we have to produce the reactors. But we produce the reactor, we sell to an EPC contractor, and we license the purification process to the client. We don't want to build the entire chemical plant by our own. It's too capital intensive. And moreover, we want to spread the technology all over. 80 million tons, it's a huge. Imagine that one plant processes 20,000 tons. How many plants we need? Scalability, done. But we need to spread the technology.
Okay, so your plan is to license the technology and get existing plants to buy your equipment, install it, and operate it?
Very detailed questions. Yes, the idea is that people can buy a plant from our EPC contractor, and then we provide the reactor, and they install the chemical plant close by, for example, a city or a mechanical recycler, and they intercept the material post-consuming produced in the city or left over from the existing technology.
Okay, and how does this differ from current available technologies or other cutting-edge technologies for recycling PET?
Yes, at the moment, all recycling is based on mechanical recycling. I take this, I grind, I remove the paper and the cap, which is different materials, and the grinded material, after washing several times, is used to produce something else. Then this technology has really a lot of limits, as we saw on the percentage before. If you think about just the white bottles of milk or colored bottles, they are totally unuseful for mechanical recycling. They don't make any money. But with chemical recycling, it's precious. Just to give you numbers, your backpack is in polyester. The material, more or less, yeah, this is polyester. It's 2% of pigment and dyes. Difference on this, just 2%. But these 2% affect completely the recyclability of mechanical properties and on mechanical recycling. You can't do it. You can burn or just landfill. Just the 2%. That's why we need chemical recycling. We solve a problem at the end, you know.
Okay, and there's no other chemical recycling taking place?
Oh, no. Industrially, no. This is a race. It's a company in Italy called Garbo, they are developing. Company in France called Carbios, they are developing. And then another one in the Netherlands, another one in Canada.
And how would it work with your large consortium? You're the only one who wants to commercialize it, and they will allow you to commercialize it for certain fees?
The patent is in our own, and there are commercial contracts, a lot of negotiation with the different players. But we are almost done. We are closing the last one, one of the partner. And then at the end, for example, in a consortium like that, the big problem is managing the IP. The idea is that everybody is inventor, but we are the applicant. Then we manage the IP. And we give a fee. Yes. Otherwise, it's a nightmare.
So you've already developed the first test pilot plans?
Yes, now we have the industrial reactor, which was on the picture, and with the capacity of more or less 100 kilograms a year of processing ability. By the next year, we finish the construction of the demo plant with a capacity of 1,000 tons per year. The next phase will be a commercial one.
Okay. Do you have a client pipeline lined up of people who want to buy this reactor?
Yeah, I have almost a request every week from a future client because everybody is struggling with this problem. I was in the. Can we use the name of the brands on the rules of the company?